Hi, I'm Cheryl Duncan, a Handi Quilter studio educator, and today I'm going to show you how to install the Handi Feet Conversion Kit. We will show you how to correctly install and change the various feet, including the couching feet. We recommend that this kit be installed by an authorized Handi Quilter rep. If, however, after reading the instructions and watching this video, you feel comfortable to do this installation yourself, please proceed carefully. Handi Quilter owners of the HQ16 with the original head frame will need to have this kit installed by their local HQ rep. If you are unsure if you have the original HQ16, please verify this with your local representative. Now we're going to show you what's included in your Handi Feet Conversion Kit. We have your Handi Feet mount with the 4mm screw already attached. We have your Handi ruler foot, the open toe foot, a 2.5mm hex tool, a 3mm hex tool, and an 8mm wrench. You'll be using all of these tools to install this kit. This is your Handi Feet couching kit. Included in your kit is your M4 screw and 3 various sizes of couching feet, starting with a 1.5, a 2, and a 3mm foot. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to rotate the hand wheel to bring the needle to its highest position. Once the needle's in its highest position, we're going to remove the needle and we're going to remove the needle plate. Now, while holding the hopping foot firmly with your one hand, loosen the lock nut by turning it clockwise with the 8mm wrench. Remove the hopping foot by turning it clockwise. Remember, the presser bar is spring-loaded and it can be pushed up with your hand. If your foot hits the machine, see section 2 of your written instructions, or we'll discuss it later in the video. Remove the lock nut from your foot that you've just taken off and place it on the Handi mount until half the threads are above the lock nut. Attach the ruler foot to the Handi foot mount. Slide the foot on the mount as far as it'll go, then tighten it with the 2.5 hex tool. Once you have the foot attached, mount the foot by turning it counterclockwise a minimum of 4 turns. Be careful to start it straight into the presser bar threads. If it starts crooked or is too hard to turn, remove the mount and try again, making sure it goes straight. We've now replaced the needle plate. Now we're going to place a business card under the hopping foot to protect our needle plate. We want to rotate the hand wheel to bring the needle bar and the presser foot to their lowest position. Adjust the height of the foot by rotating the foot into the presser bar counterclockwise until the foot is no more than 0.5mm away from the needle plate, or about the thickness of a business card. Raise the needle bar to its highest position and replace your needle. For this next step, we are using the 1.5mm couching foot. Firmly holding the foot centered with the needle, slowly lower the needle to its lowest position. Tighten the lock nut counterclockwise using the 8mm wrench. This will fix the height and radial position of the foot. If you need to make a minor adjustment so that your needle is centered, loosen your hex nut by your lock nut by turning it clockwise. Lower your needle and make sure that it is centered, and then once again tighten that nut while holding that foot firmly in place. Place a thin business card underneath the foot to protect the needle plate during this step. Use the 3mm hex tool and loosen the screw by turning it counterclockwise. Wiggle the foot until it rests on the business card and the foot is centered on the needle. Pull down firmly with one finger on the 3mm tool blade while tightening the screw clockwise with the other hand. Pulling down on the tool blade helps to ensure that the internal parts engage properly. Raise your needle and remove the business card. We will now do our final quality check to make sure that our Handi mount and feet are installed properly. The first thing that you want to do is make sure that your needle will rotate through an entire stitch cycle and that it's centered in the hopping foot. The hopping foot will be no more than 0.5 millimeters, or the thickness of a business card, away from the needle plate, and the hopping foot will be centered over the needle hole on the needle plate. In the first section of the video, I was easily able to remove my hopping foot. This time, I am unable to remove my hopping foot because it is hitting my machine. So we are going to show you the alternate method for installing the Handi Feet Conversion Kit. The first thing that you will want to do is you will want to raise your spring-loaded presser bar and put your hopping foot back into its original position, or fairly close to it. Replace your needle plate. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to rotate the hand wheel to bring the needle to its highest position. Once the needle's in its highest position, we're going to remove the needle. Loosen the screw by turning it counterclockwise. Do not turn it more than one full revolution. Hold the hex tool firmly down, and with your other hand, raise the hopping foot to its highest position and retighten the screw. Using your 8mm wrench, loosen your lock nut, turning it clockwise. Then remove your hopping foot by turning it clockwise. Be careful that it does not hit your needle plate. Remove the lock nut from the hopping foot and screw it onto the Handi Feet mount until half the threads are above the lock nut. Attach the ruler foot to the Handi Feet mount. For this, I'm using the 1.5mm couching foot because it's easier to center. Attach the ruler foot to the Handi Foot mount. Slide the foot on the mount as far as it'll go, then tighten it with the 2.5 hex tool. Once you have the foot attached, mount the foot by turning it counterclockwise a minimum of 4 turns. Be careful to start it straight into the pressure bar threads. If it starts crooked or is too hard to turn, remove the mount and try again, making sure it goes straight. Tighten the 8mm nut while firmly holding the foot, turning it counterclockwise, and replace your needle. Place a thin business card underneath the foot to protect the needle plate during this step. Use the 3mm hex tool and loosen the screw by turning it counterclockwise. Wiggle the foot until it drops down onto the business card. Do not tighten screw C yet. Rotate the hand wheel until the needle is at its lowest position. With the needle in its lowest position, make sure the foot ring is centered on the hopping foot, and the hopping foot screw should be toward the front of the machine. Pull down firmly with one finger on the 3mm tool blade while firmly tightening screw C clockwise with the other hand. Pulling down on the tool blade helps ensure that the internal parts engage properly. Remove the business card after raising your needle. We'll now show you how easy it is to change out your feet. We'll show you how to attach a couching foot. First, you're going to loosen your screw using your 2.5mm hex wrench far enough that you can slide your other foot off. You'll now slide your other foot on. If you have to slide your needle bar up slightly, you can. Tighten your screw down. And your other foot is now attached. Now that we've taught you how to use the Handi Feet Conversion Kit, we hope you enjoy using the many variety of feet from Handi Quilter.